Doctor Who Carnival of Monsters, the 16th story of the Third Doctor, is written by Robert Holmes and starring Jon Pertwee and Katie Manning. So the story was going to be called Peep Show, but obviously changed to Carnival of Monsters. This gives Barry Letts an opportunity to direct, as he had a difficult time to produce. So the Interminer, with a race called Interminorian, Vogue and Shurna came out of those present machines and undressed themselves in setting up the show. Nice outfits, by the way. Kalik killed the handler and Oram praised him for that. So the Doctor and Joe arrived in the ship, cargo hold. Joe is curious why it smelled like farm. The Doctor expected to land in Metebelis 3. We get a first mention of the planets. The first time it was supposed to be mentioned is the end of the Three Doctors, but they cut that out. They also used RFA Robert Dundas to film the ship scenes after, when it was decommissioned in 8th of December 1971, as it travelled to River Medway in Kent. They had to film external shots in low angle. The banks of their estuary would have been seen. Jo gets a fright as she sees something alive, and it was the chickens in the cage. Pretty amusing. The Doctor suspects that him and Jo are not on Earth, so they hid in a room where Major Daly, Claire Daly and John Andrews were. It's a scary scene when we see plesiosaurs outside the ship.
What's going on? What a monster! What the deuce is it?
It works pretty effective. As the Doctor and Jo gets caught, they claim to be passengers, so everything is alright until John came in and accused them of stowaways. So he locks them into the cabin to wait for the captain. The Doctor explains to Jo about the place they're in and Mary Celeste. Remember the chase story. Great thing about to do those Doctor Who retrospective is not only because I love the show, wanting to talk about them, giving some information about the stories and production, it's also because I get to learn new things, which is nice. So Jo managed to get the key to get out of the cabin. The Doctor and Jo noticed that people on the boat were saying the same things, and the plesiosaurs attack again, like there's something going on with a time loop. So they sneaked away back into the TARDIS, and we get a scary cliffhanger where a giant hand coming out of nowhere and picks the TARDIS up. Of course, they added a new theme music for part 2 called Delaware Theme by Paddy Kingsland. That's based on Delaware Road. I really do like that theme. But because it was unpopular, they restored it back to Delia Derbyshire's theme. Although it only appeared in Australia in the 1995 VHS release and the DVDs, they have extra scenes including the Delaware theme. They also used that theme in Frontier in Space Part 5. So it was Vogue taking the TARDIS out of the miniscope machine he showed on the screen of Tellurians, Ogrons and Drashigs. So the Doctor and Jo gets called by those people on the boat again, and ironically he said John L. Sullivan in front of Ian Marter, which you know who he later played. So him and John do a bit of a boxing fight and quickly ran off, being followed by the people on the boat. As the Doctor and Jo are trying to open the metal trapdoor, they're surrounded by those people again. So Vogue turns the thingy and they just went off their business. The Doctor and Jo went down into the circuit. As the Cybermen are shown on screen, Interminorians planned to destroy the machine, but didn't work, so they think anything could escape from there. The TARDIS has regrown to normal size. The Doctor and Jo found themselves in the field, and we get a fantastic scene where Drashigs were rising up. Jon Pertwee, as always, fantastic as the Third Doctor, 10 out of 10. I love Katie Manning as Jo Grant. She's great and has nice chemistry with Jon Pertwee. Leslie Dwyer plays Vogue, who's a Lurman showman who travels to different planets and brings the microscope machine to entertain others. He won it from gambling trick with 3 Magum pods from Wallorians. Cheryl Hall, who was considered for the role as Jo Grant, in this story played Shurna, Vogue's assistant. I love those two, there's great ideas for the characters. Love to see more of them. Drashigs are post-human descendant predators from satellite of Grundle, and one of the most dangerous creatures in the universe. They're so cool and terrifying. Another monster they should bring back. Michael Wisher played Kalik, who's Interminorian and plans to replace his brother Zob as the president. Peter Halliday played Pytrak, an Interminorian who's to immigration control and didn't like the importation of the miniscope. Terence Lodge played Oram, an Interminorian who's Calic's assistant. Interminorian are humanoid races from the Interminor. I thought they're interesting. Tenniel Evans played Major Daly, who's retired from British Army and a passenger in SS Burness, removed from the space and time and placed into microscope machine. Ian Marter played John Andrews, the member of SS Burness. The actor obviously later played Harry Sullivan, the Fourth Doctor's companion in Tom Baker's first 2 seasons. Ian Marter also considered for the role as Captain Mike Yates before it went to Richard Franklin. Jenny McCracken, who's also considered for the role as Jo Grant as well, in this story played Claire Daly, a passenger of SS Burness and Major Daly's daughter. The cast did a great job and the sets and music are pretty sweet, and I do love the music by Dudley Simpson. So Drashig followed the trail while the Doctor and Jo runs away. There are more Drashigs and Jo is stuck in the lake, so the Doctor uses his sonic screwdriver to set them on fire, but hasn't done much, which is pretty intense. So Vogue put his hand in to distract Drashig, so the Doctor and Jo got back inside the circuit and they realise they're inside the peep show.
You know, Sherna,
The Time Lords were convinced to ban those devices, so the Doctor and Jo went where the crate is. Jo is called by John and Major Daly again as her foot was showing, so she gets taken away. Jo tries to get Claire to remember, and so then we get an excellent battle scenes with the Drashigs attack the boat. Captain sees Jo after she gets taken to the room. The passengers don't remember her, so she acts like she's ill, and so she got away, being followed by John and Major again. While Claire is thinking, Borg and Sherna sees the microscope machine running low on power, and the Doctor managed to got out and fainted, which freaks Sherna out, blimey. So the Doctor grew into his normal size and woke up. The Doctor ranted at the tribunal about the microscope machine as it's against the galactic law. As Jo escapes from the people on the boat, the Doctor gets Vogue to send the Doctor back inside to get Jo. The machine was overheating Drashig's ate Calic and Oram, so Vogue works on the device and got the Doctor and Jo out. Drashigs are killed, everyone on the boat is back in their time and place, while Vogue is showing Pytrick the microscope machine. The Doctor and Jo disappeared in the TARDIS with Sherna smiling at it. So that's Carnival of Monsters, and I really enjoyed it. Great ideas in there. What did you think of Carnival of Monsters? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks people as always for watching, and see you in the next video.